Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and we are continuing my Metal Gear Solid experience. Yes. So we all know that the first game is such a classic and how much I liked about the game, and it's really a game that stood the test of time. And I told that it's not the end. This is just the beginning. The best is yet to come. You get it? You get what I said there? But the best is yet to come, like the song. And by the song, I got hit a copyright claim of that song. I was like, I don't need no money. Like, what the heck is YouTube? I don't need no money. I don't want no cash. I don't care about some money. I don't care about no revenue. Get out of here. What are you talking about? Anyways, so here we go. Copyright claim aside, it's time us to go to our next chapter of the Metal Gear Solid saga, Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty. And before we start Sons of Liberty, I'll let you know that don't take the word review seriously. Like I mentioned in my last video, don't take the word review very seriously or literal. I'll use quotations again, just like the last video I did on the subject, on my MGS experience. So, and another thing to mention as well, I forgot to mention in my last one is that Gray Fox died in the fight in Rex, and Konami released Twin Snakes, which basically the remake of the first game, which I will not even mention for a bit. It's not going to be part of it. I forgot to mention that in the first video. So that will not be there. I'm just going to focus on the original quadruple games. So from 1 to 4. So by the way, number 1 is going to be linked down below to my first one. It's going to be linked down below, or maybe in the eye, or click the eye, or maybe by the end of the video I'll put like the last one there. So just to tell people about it. Alright, so with that introduction out of the way, let's begin with my experience with Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. Let's begin. The story of Metal Gear Solid Sons of Liberty. So let's do this. The story of this game takes place 2 years after the events of Shadow Moses in 2007. Snake and Arcon became now partners and became like best buddies and best pals. So they decided to infiltrate a tanker in New York to take pictures of a new found Metal Gear called Metal Gear Ray, which is basically a better version of Metal Gear Rex. It turns out the place has been patrolled by a bunch of Russian military group, the Spetsnaz, I think was what it is. I'm not sure really, or that's the end from the first game called. I can't remember. I'm sorry about that if I pronounced the soldier's name incorrectly. So you go around the tanker, and before definitely to say, the graphics in this game is fucking amazing. By the way, the game's graphics, it still holds up to this day. It's one of the coolest looking graphics. It still look like a fine piece of art. I'm not gonna lie, it looks like a fine piece of art. I'm not gonna lie about that. It's amazing. So you infiltrate the area, and like I said before, the beginning of this game, unless I already said it, but this game has the strongest, if not the strongest, first hour, or basically the first 40 minutes in the game. You play a snake. So we go around the tanker and meet up with a certain individual named Olga. So Snake and Olga has a bit of battle, and we found out that Olga has a child, is in custody of the Patriots, I think. Yeah, the Patriots. But we'll talk about the Patriots a bit later on, and to tell you who they are. So we're gonna talk about them in a bit later. So Snake goes around the place and went around down to the basement of the tanker and found a new Metal Gear Ray. Basically a bigger version of Metal Gear Rex and much more like a refined version of Rex, of its older brother. Snake took pictures of the Metal Gears, of the Metal Gear, taking pictures, and found out all was a setup and killed the general. I forgot the general's name, and that general's name. Sorry if I forgot to pronounce the name. I might just put like a title or something maybe. And found out that Ocelot, which orchestrated the whole plan. And then something happens. Ocelot has required the arm of Liquid Snake and tied to his body. So, and then he's howling on the grave, and then you hear Liquid Snake's voice actor talk. So now he's been going by, instead of Revolver Ocelot, is Liquid Ocelot. Because if you guys remember on the last video, Ray Fox basically chopped his arm off, and now he got Liquid's arm to Ocelot's body. Yeah, now he's called Liquid Ocelot, so yeah, that's what he's now called right now. And then a self-destruct system happened, and then Metal Gear Rex has escaped the tanker, and Snake pronounced dead. Or is he dead? That actually all takes place in 2007. I just really love the atmosphere, the level design. I like the rainy atmosphere. From like Snake's like freaking Terminator entrance for some reason. The dude's now become Terminator at this point. I might let the Terminator music in. So anyways, it's really awesome first segment of the game, the tanker section. By far the highlights of the game, one of the highlights of the game. I love the tanker section with Snake. It's just fucking fun, awesome, the soundtrack, and heck, for my second Metal Gear Solid game, it's really awesome because the first one I played was MGS 5. I forgot to mention the MGS 5 was like the first one I played, Phantom Pain. I played Ground Zero, played Phantom Pain and Ground Zero, so I played both of like my first. Then I played Metal Gear Solid 2 as my second MGS game. It was awesome. So it was an awesome segment. I love the starting segment of the game. So 2 years after that, they send up a guy named Jack the Ripper, also known as codename Raiden, to the plant. Now I want to talk about Raiden. Raiden to me is not really my favorite character in the series. He's one of my least favorite. He's not that great in this game. It comes across a bit of naive of a character, a bit naive. He's high skilled, yes, but he's a bit naive in my opinion. A little bit naive. He doesn't have like, he doesn't have like sharp thinking. He's more like a bit naive person. Things didn't go his way. He's like, that one girlfriend that just, pretty cool and nice, beautiful looking, but sometimes she could be a bit annoying. That's why I feel that's what vibes Raiden gave to me. And I think Raiden's kind of like the same thing as Nero. I don't know, it's just me. And yeah, Devil May Cry 4 and MGS2 suffered the problem of having replacing main characters. Placing the main character to become the main guy and stuff. I mean, adding new characters is cool, but just don't replace the main character. And yeah, some people actually got outraged with Raiden's, and a lot of people hate him. I really don't like him, honestly. I'm not a fan of him. He's gonna be cooler in the upcoming games. He's gonna be more of a cooler character, a bit likable, I would say. So Raiden infiltrates the place of the planet to find out the remainings of the of Metal Gear Ray. He comes across as a player, we come across a familiar face, and we meet with Pliskin, which we all know is Snake. I mean, come on, his voice and his face is Snake. So Snake is alive, confirmed, and we learn that this place was controlled by the unit called Dead Cell, which is definitely a bunch of terrorists, and they're including, and the people are Fat Man, Vamp, Fortune. Fortune, by the way, turns out to be the general in the tanker's father who died. So that's basically that. She has like powers of basically immune to bullets, and she just all like the ammo just actually like brushes off. Vamp with his like dancing moves. Vamp with his experts of bombing. And we have now Solid Snake. Yeah, Solid Snake, which is not his actual name, and found out to be Solidus Snake. Solidus Snake, which definitely is the leader of the Dead Cell terrorists, and he was the former U.S. president. You know, around MGS1, he was the president of the state, and he just, I don't know what happened after that. So that's one of the things I've known. He's definitely the leader, and he has an eye patch. Interesting. And we'll get to the whole eye patch thing in later games. So Solid Snake, he has no like relations to the Snake Brothers, but he has the Snake Mantle name in there. But we'll talk about more of him in detail in an upcoming game. So don't worry. A lot of them it's gonna be explained in the fourth game. The stuff that is gonna be from the first and the fourth game is gonna be explained on number 4. So yeah, it's gonna be a big one. The Snake patrols around the plant and meets up with a black dude, I think, that he's supposed to, I forgot his name. He's supposed to be like the guy who taught Fat Man how to, create bombs and all that type of stuff. And your job is basically to find bombs all over the place, and you fight Fat Man. Oh yeah, fight Fat Man. By the way, as well, the boss music in this game is fucking awesome, by the way. And I know I should talk about music in the fourth game. I'll talk about the music and put that in there. So, after defeating Fat Man and disposing the final bomb, and we definitely traverse the area, and we meet up with Solid Snake and Vamp having the Harrier and have the Harrier boss battle. We fought literally a Harrier, and then Snake, when Solid Snake said, "I am Solid Snake," and then Solid Snake himself said, "No, this is not Solid Snake," because he knows that he's not Solid Snake, but you get what I mean. Snake is Solid Snake, and Solidus is not the real Solid Snake. So yeah, he took that mantle because Solid Snake was dead, quote unquote dead. So hopefully not get confused by that. After traversing the place, and we found out that under the plant there's a place called Arsenal Gear, which houses a very powerful AI called GW. A pretty powerful AI, and pretty strong AI and all that type of stuff. And we found out about the Patriots. Now, who are the Patriots? The Patriots are basically a super secret organization that basically controls like the world from the shadows. So they've been around for years. They've been around for a very long time. So I think that's what it is. The Patriots in a nutshell. So we go definitely traverse the area, and we found out that Hal Emmerich or Otacon has a sister called E or Emma Emmerich, and Emma's been injected with some type, I don't know, got like lethal injected, and then not lethal injection, but injected with something, and she can't even move. And she's definitely pretty much a software programmer, just like her older brother. And her definitely Otacon's father was definitely a scumbag in scumbag. He's a character in MGS5. He's being a scumbag and kind of like a dickhead. But we don't talk about MGS5 because MGS5 is not part of the discussion. It's completely out of topic. Get out of here. And then we know that Snake and Otacon have a bit of became friends and a bit of bromance, I guess. I guess love do blossom in the battlefield between Snake and Otacon. Kiss, kiss. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just thinking about that joke just like a second ago. Just thinking about it just make me freaking laugh. No game. No shit. I'm sorry. I it's really off topic. I'm just laughing my ass off about it. Okay, it's just Jesus Christ. People do think about that shipping between Otacon. People say Otacon saw Snake. Ew, gross. Nasty. So we go through and we have to go down to the basement level, and as we try to go in the basement level, and then basically Snake said that yeah, I'm the true Solid Snake. Otacon told him that yeah, that guy is Solid Snake and he's actually alive. He wasn't dead and all that type of shit. He survived the tanker incident. Happened 2 years prior. So what happens next is we go and save Hal Emmerich. In the swimming section, which I forgot to mention in the first game, this game, the swimming section, the swimming controls has shitty controls, and I mentioned there's a sniping section in MGS2, you have to protect Emma, and there's bombs, and there's literally fucking enemies around, and like I said, the sniping section suffers the same problem as it was in the first game. What the fuck? Jesus Christ, even when using freaking benzodiazepine, Jesus, it still sucks. I'm still gonna complain about it because it sucks dick. So anyways, after E almost got close to get across the bridge, Vamp came in out of nowhere, because prior to that you find him as a boss and he's underwater and shit, and then he stabbed her in the kidney in the back. Yeah, and suffered for a big amount of blood loss, and then she decided to go and Snake decided to go and save her and then installs the data drive and all that, but let's just say he lost so much blood, and which we by far the very first emotional cutscene of the series, in my opinion, the death of E. Hal Emmerich, like E's last scene to seeing her brother taking her glasses off, slowly she died. And it's pretty sad. And then the parrot, which basically is E's best friend, says, Hal, I love you constantly. And Snake just basically brush on and say, hey, get the chopper and get the people out of here and everything. And then after that, I forgot to mention as well that there's a ninja, a person dressed as a ninja helps Raiden out, but we don't know who that ninja is. And then Snake decided to basically not backstab Raiden, but kind of like knock him out of his senses. And we found out that that ninja behind the mask was Oga from the tanker incident. Yes. And we found out that her child's in danger. If Raiden dies, her child will die. And we're gonna meet her child, Oga's daughter, real soon. I don't know who's the father of the child. I don't know who's the father of the child. Maybe y'all can tell me. I don't know who the fuck's the dad. I don't know. Maybe sperm donor, probably. Maybe she wants a child. I don't know. And then we go to by far the best part, and by far the weirdest part of MGS2, the infamous Arsenal gear. And then, after basically his battle, he must win. If he lost, he would die, and so his Oga's daughter will die if he lost against Solid Snake. And what happened is, Solidus just lost and got killed by Raiden by a slash, and nice blood effect. Pretty shitty blood effect from TS2. Yeah, pretty shitty blood effect. Yeah, it looked terrible. So, and then they look back, then Raiden goes back with Rose, and Snake just goes off in the sunset. And that's basically the story. I don't know, maybe I definitely might get everything wrong. The story was so confusing. I left confused, and just a lot of questions to be asked in my brain. Is like, what the heck is all about? It was all just a illusion. It's all that's just like part of a plan. What it is, I'm so confused. Yet I'm still kind of shocked about what happened to Arsenal Gear. So yeah, that's basically the moral of the story of the game. Now let's go on to the next part, the weapons section. Not weapons, sorry, the controls. Now for the control section of the game, the controls is different. It's the kind of same, but there's a lot of difference because the game no longer has a bird's eye view. This game right now still has the bird's eye view, but the aiming is different. You can actually press the L1 button and hold the fiber, which is basically square, to aim your target and release the button to shoot. Now I don't like this, and it takes me a while to get to get used to that, because I'd rather just press the button to shoot instead of just like holding it, take your shot perfectly and then shoot. I'm not a big fan of that, but it is what it is. Still, you have the same items, same management of items and everything. They just circle is to now basically square to CQC, circles to now to dodge. Yeah, you can actually dodge. I think we're just running running an X. Yeah, running an X, running circle. I forgot, but which is the buttons layout of the game. And yeah, you play as two characters. And there's a bunch of unlockables, a lot of side stuff and bosses. And speaking of which, the boss fights in this game are actually better. The boss fights are getting high and actually better than every game. The boss is getting better, except for 4, which it went downhill for me. From 4 it went downhill, the bosses. And I'll tell you why once we get to MGS4. So the bosses are really awesome. The theme song is amazing. My favorite boss fights in the game are the final boss fight, the fight against Vamp, the fight against Vamp. The Vamp fight was really cool. And the Harrier part, I guess. Some of the bosses are pretty cool, really nice. I'm not a big fan of Fortune's fights. Not a big fan of that freaking sniping section to have to protect Emma. I hate that section. Oh boy, definitely the weapons in the game is just kind of there's some new weaponries. You have now a tranquilizer pistol, which definitely knocks out people and all that stuff. So that's another thing. And what about as well difficulty setting? Difficulty is the same. It's not really, it's the same way like the first one. I guess all the Metal Gear Solid games share kind of this identical difficulty, if you're not be careful. And when you fight bosses in this game, bosses could be, if you don't know some tricks, all that type of stuff. Oh yeah, I forgot as well, you can actually hang. If you go behind controls, if you go behind a ledge, you can actually just go and get your grip up. There's actually a way you can just go to grip up level 3, but it's unnecessary. You can go by undetected, so you have a lot of ways to get undetected in this game. Yeah. So, difficulty. Now back to difficulty. The difficulty is still the same. It's good. It's pretty decent difficulty. And actually it took me a lot of tries, and I died so many times and saved a lot, and it took me a longer time to beat the game, and Tiger just basically said, I am better than you at the game, I'm better than you, I'm gamer, basically that's what happened in the stream, and I saw it, and it was like, real funny, hilarious. Anyways, so conclusion of the game, verdict, 4.5 out of 10. I was gonna give it 3 for its confusing story, but I'll say 4.5. It's a good game. I really like it, but not my favorite game. So we got 2 games basically are successful. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and we are continuing our my Metal Gear Solid experience. Yes. So we all know that the first game is such a classic and how much I liked about the game, and it's really a game that stood the test of time. And I told that it's not the end, this is just the beginning. The best is yet to come. You get it? You get what I said there? Bet the best is yet to come, like the song. By the song, I got hit a copyright claim of that song. I was like, I don't need no money. Like, what the heck is YouTube? I don't need no money. I don't want no cash. I don't care about some money. I don't care about no revenue. Get out of here. What are you talking about? Anyways, so here we go. So, copyright claim aside, it's time to go to our next chapter of the Metal Gear Solid saga. Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. And before we start Sons of Liberty, I'll let you know that this is, don't take the word review seriously. Like I mentioned in my last video, don't take the word review very seriously or literal. I'll use quotations again, just like the last video I did on the subject, on my MGS experience. So, and another thing to mention as well, I forgot to mention in my last one, is that Gray Fox died in the fight in Rex, and Konami released Twin Snakes, which basically the remake of the first game, which I will not even mention for a bit. It's not going to be part of it. I had to mention that in the first video, so that will not be there. I'm just going to focus on the original quadruple games, so from 1 to 4. So by the way, number 1 is going to be linked down below to my first one. It's going to be linked down below, or maybe in the eye, or click the eye, or maybe by the end of the video I'll put like the last one there. So just to say, just to get, just to tell people about it. Alright, so with that introduction out of the way, let's begin with my telling, or my experience with Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. Let's begin. Pretty big successful games, and it's amazing. Could it get any better? Well, yeah, it did get better. So that concludes MGS2's review. Really good game, better than the first one. It does improve on parts. If I miss something, I'll basically definitely go back and just go in the next one and just recreate it, I guess, something like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The end of that's basically it. That's all I gotta say about MGS2. Pretty good story build up. Strongest first hour of the game. It was a pretty strong introduction with the tanker section. That shit was my favorite part of the entire game. It was awesome to play as Snake. Who would want to play as the iconic Snake? And speaking of Snake, by the way, the voice actor, David Hayter, the man who been voiced Snake since the first game all the way up to Peace Walker. I mean, yeah, they put his voice to Peace Walker. I mean, he's the best. I mean, they don't want to change his voice acting in another game and try to make him voice not Snake. Oh yeah, I'm just probably just changed his voice actor. Oh boy. Yeah. It kinda sucks, but anyway. That concludes the game, guys. That concludes MGS2. And I'll see you guys in MGS3. See ya.